Hi everybody, my name is Glenn, I'm with Strata, and this is our Bulletproof back series. In this video, you're going to learn about the different ways that your back can move and the exercises that you can do right now to help your back feel its best and work its most optimally. In this video, I'm going to explain to you all the different ways in which your back can move, and I'm going to give you some exercises both in a seated position and in a lying down position that you can use to start training these muscles. We'll also go over how hard and how long you should hold these positions so that you can start priming your back to work its best. Let's jump into it. Now, there's these things called the Cardinal Planes, and it's how we as exercise professionals distinguish the different ways that your body can move. When it comes to the back, we're looking at these patterns of rotation, flexion and extension, and side bending. You can think about frontal plane movement as flexing or extending. You can think of sagittal plane movement as this lateral motion, moving side to side, and you can think of rotation as turning or twisting side to side as well. If you want to have a back that's robust and healthy, you ought to be training it in all three of these planes. So when you do the upcoming exercises, we're going to suggest that you try doing 3 sets and holding each set for about 5 seconds. When you're doing these exercises, you should be squeezing or trying to contract your muscles as hard as you can, without any pain or discomfort. For some people that might be 20%, for other people that might be close to 100%. Do whatever feels right for you. If you already feel pretty comfortable with exercising, you might be able to use these exercises and do 2 or 3 sets for 30 to 40 seconds if you really want to challenge your muscles and use this as more of a workout rather than just preparing your back for everyday life. So that's 3 sets, 5 seconds each time if you're using these exercises to prepare your body for everyday life or for exercises. And you can do 2 to 3 sets holding for up to 40 seconds if you're looking to use this as a part of an actual workout to get your body stronger or improve its endurance. So with all that said, let's start looking at all the exercises. So why might we want to do seated exercises over lying down exercises or vice versa? Well, everybody's going to have different positions that might bother their back or aggravate it. And for some people, lying down is going to be upsetting to their body. For other people, sitting is going to be the thing that bothers them. So we want to give you options so you can choose what exercises are going to fit best for you. So let's start with frontal plane movement. We're going to start with a trunk flexion exercise. You can bring your hands up to your chest and think about pulling your rib cage down to the ground and crunch. Hold it for about 5 seconds. And relax, and repeat. Now, let's move the opposite way into extension. For extension, you can think about trying to bring your chest up to the ceiling, or just think about extending your back. Hands to the chest, and extend. And relax. Let's move on to our sagittal plane movement. Hands come to the chest, and we're going to think about pulling the side of our rib cage down towards our hip for a lateral flexion. Hands at the chest, and side bend over. You can relax and then just move to the other side. The last movement we're going to look at here is going to be a trunk rotation. Same idea again, we're going to place our hands at our chest and we're thinking about turning all the way to one side without moving our pelvis. So I'm going to bring my hands to my chest and I'm going to turn all the way towards the left. Relax, then we'll move towards the opposite side. Those are all of our seated exercises. Remember, if you're just trying to prep your body and potentiate it, get it ready for your day, or just to try to encourage those muscles to fire more, you'll have to hold for around 5 seconds. If you're looking to actually challenge your body and use this as a bit of a workout, you can go upwards of 20, 30, 40 seconds. Work with wherever you're at for today. So now let's look at our lying down series. We're still going to be working through all the same planes of movement that we did for our seated series. We're just going to be doing it lying down. And we're going to start with our flexion exercise for our trunk and spine. So you're going to lie down. You can bring your hands to your chest. And you can be flat or you can have them bent if you want. It's up to you. And all you're going to think about doing is crunching up and holding for 5 seconds. Now, alternatively, if that bothers your neck, you don't actually have to bring your upper torso off the ground, you can think about pulling your low back in the ground, or think about just pulling your rib cage towards your pelvis, like this. That will allow you to keep your neck supported. For our second exercise, we're going to be looking at trunk extension. Again, for this exercise, knees bent or legs straight, it's up to you. I prefer knees bent, and all I'm going to do is think about arching my back and holding for 5 seconds. Additionally, if you want to give yourself a little bit more challenge, you can think about pushing your hands into the table while arching your back. It looks the same on camera, but you get the picture. So now we're going to move on to frontal plane movement, which you may remember from earlier in the video is going to be the side bendy kind of movement. We're going to lie down and we're going to bring our legs over to one side and tilt our trunk over to the other. And it looks like this. Legs over, tilt over with the top part of your body, and you're thinking about closing up the gap between your rib cage and your pelvis, holding for 5 seconds. Once you do your right hand side for 5 seconds, you can come back to the middle and then move over to the left hand side and repeat for your 3 sets. The last plane of movement that we're going to be challenging in this series is going to be rotation. Instead of your trunk and your rib cage rotating this time, you're actually going to keep this part flat and you're thinking about rotating your pelvis. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to lie down on your back. You're going to keep one leg straight and you're going to bend the opposite leg. You can place the bottom of that foot either beside your knee, on top of your thigh, on the opposite side, whatever feels best for you. And you're going to think about rotating your hips over to the side, just like this. If you want some extra challenge, you can use your hand to push into your knee or your thigh to provide you with a little bit of extra challenge. So remember, move at your own pace, find positions that feel good, and start challenging yourself. If you just try to prepare your muscles for exercise or day-to-day life, doing 3 sets, holding each one for 5 seconds at an intensity that's most comfortable for you is just fine. If you want to make this more of a workout and hold the positions for longer or squeeze a lot harder, please go ahead and do that too. Everybody, my name is Glenn. I'm with Strata. We want you moving and exercising pain-free, and this has been our guide to bulletproofing your back.